All right, that's beautiful insight. And as we were saying a little earlier to our audiences, the numbers when it comes to schools are high, broadly. And so let's take everyone who's watching right now to the next space, workplaces. So we're all right now at work. How safe do women feel in their workplaces? We asked women across, as we've told you a little earlier, 20 cities in 20 states, how safe they felt when they went to work every day. How did they feel with the policies that were there around their co-workers? 92%, so this is a higher number than educational institutions, felt safe when they were at their workplaces. Neutral 5% and unsafe 3%. Then we asked them, is enough being done for women's safety at their workplace? Again, 86%, this is again a big number, smaller than the previous number. 86% saying they agreed, 9% saying they felt neutrally, 5% disagreeing. Then we asked them, do you think enough is being done for women's safety at your workplace? Do you think your workplace cares, is putting in place actions? 86% you can see, 87% you can see saying they believed that their workplace was doing enough. And let's go very quickly to the data you can see on your screens. How effective is the implementation of POSH at your workplace? 87% saying highly effective. Prevention of sexual harassment is the POSH policies. They've been put in place over the last few years. Only 87% saying they actually felt it was highly, highly effective. All right, that's very, very positive. And let's go over to Dr. Seema to understand a little bit more. Dr. Seema, hugely positive numbers here. When it comes to how safe Indian women feel in the workplace, not only is that huge, but it also speaks highly to everything that's been put in place in the last few years. It's fascinating. Tell our audiences first, how were you defining workplace when you were conducting this survey? So, for example, if one was a domestic worker, did where they went to do their domestic work also count as a workplace? Were we sticking exclusively to corporate workplaces? Just bring us that context.
Okay, so the context of POSH is relevant to the workplaces where the employers have the employees which is more than 10 in numbers. So when we are talking about a domestic worker who is going to somebody's place to work, that POSH is not relevant there. However, it is relevant at the places where it is an organized sector and the number of employees is more than 10. So it was asked from those women who are working in such workplaces that how that do they have the POSH policies at their workplaces, and you will be surprised to know that nearly 50% of the women, they did not even know that POSH even exists. They were coming in the category of either they do not know or they do not have it. And there is seemingly a possibility that those who said that they do not know, they might have the POSH policies existing. However, there is a lacunae of communication on the part of employers which needs to be bridged. And again, coming to the POSH policies effectiveness, there is a strong confidence, and 87% of women have mentioned that the POSH policies are effective at the workplaces, and that is the reason they have shown a very strong confidence at the workplaces being safe. Yeah.
Okay, I want to come to Ms. Rita to ask her then. Ma'am, a school is both a workplace and an educational institution.
Yes.
And it's complicated in that manner. I want to ask you, it's a space that's predominantly there for women, right? Unfortunately or fortunately, in most educational institutions, most teachers are women if you just look at the data. If you look at schools in particular, that fact is particularly pointed. In colleges, that drops slightly. Most people working in schools are women. I do want to understand from you, what proactive steps are taken in a space like that? Is it fair to assume such spaces are naturally safer because there are more women? Or in your experience, have you found differently?
No, I think you very rightly said these places are naturally safe because it's predominantly the children and the teachers are there. So protection of children is prime in our mind when we talk about education. Unless a child feels very happy and safe coming to school, there's no education that can really happen. So when while we are protecting the space for the children, it becomes automatically very safe for the teachers also. Although teachers are responsible for the safekeeping and the well-being and the safety of the children, but on the other hand, you said that it's predominantly the teachers are the employers there. There is a reason for that. I mean, there are various reasons for teachers being females there, because all over, you know, in the past few years, teaching profession was considered to be very convenient and safe for women also. Not from the safety that we are talking about, but safe in the sense that you know, it's convenient to go look after the family also, you look after the children also,
right.
And yet you can work, you know, spend time meaningfully and earn something also. Somewhere down the line, some people will take up profession as a career and do very well, and we have seen many people these days doing very well. So you're right that these places are very safe, and increasingly an effort is being made by law, by practices that we have in the school. Every year after year, at the time of orientation, we talk about how safe the place is.
Okay.
In terms of infrastructure, in terms of policies that we have, how toilets are going to be monitored, how some spaces in the school which could be hidden corners or something like that,
right.
The cameras are being put there. But I would always go by this, that despite doing all this, there are incidents that happen. So the gap is that somewhere down the line we are not able to analyze or probably implement what is expected to be done.
Maybe this is that same problem we were talking about. Infrastructure exists, but manning that infrastructure.
That sometimes happens. Sometimes, you know, you become so overconfident of things that, look, it's not going to happen, you know. It's the last thing on your mind that happens.
Let me just take a quick question to Dr. Seema. Dr. Seema, we've put out these numbers in front of our audiences. We're not done yet, but tell our audiences how we're going to go deeper with this research. PValue is planning to broaden out this research. In each area, ask deeper questions. What is the goal there? What's the vision?
Okay, so our goal is to have a data-driven research that finally leads to an index that will help the vision of fostering the Viksit Bharat 2047 goal. And for that, we want to actually empower the policy makers with the actionable insights. And also we want to give the pointers to the corporates to innovate, to invest, and to come up with the social impact initiatives that can foster the environment of women empowerment in the long term.
This has given us initial pointers into that, and that's where I want to ask you, what would those deeper questions look like? How do we go a level deeper? If we understand where you want to use this information, but how do we do that?
Okay, so we are at a stage, this is the first year and this is the beginning, and we actually plan to take it as an annual exercise. We want to scale it up, and at the moment it was conducted in 20 states and with the 20 cities. We want to have it across the entire Bharat, and we want to scale it up to the level that we are able to assess not only the urban context but also the rural context. We want to take the insights from this particular study, and that will help us to go to highlight the pointers which will be indicating factors for us to explore more at a qualitative level. So for example, right now this is a quantitative study, and the kind of harassment aspects we are coming with and the kind of pointers we are getting, these really are very interesting, and they can be formulated into actions only
actionable policies.
Exactly, actionable policies.
Dr. Seema, thank you for highlighting that. Ms. Rita, thank you for staying with us. We're going to head into a quick break. On the other side, we continue taking a look. We're going to be actually taking a look at a particularly important data set, the past. In the last year, what have Indian women experienced? Do stay with us.